episode 362. I will be talking about AEW Rampage, Slam Dunk, and WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the go-home show before the Elimination Chamber. Right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Welcome, wrestling fans, to a brand new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Episode 362. I am your host, Lance Brock. Thank you for tuning in tonight, right here on Spreaker, or wherever else you may listen to 360 Wrestling podcasts at. It is the Friday episode for February 17th, 2023, and we're doing things a little different tonight, though, due to some of the NBA All-Star Game activities. Rampage was on first tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, an hour before Smackdown this week. So we're going to do things a little different than the usual Friday night episodes of Wrestling Fanatic. Going to be talking about Rampage first, and then right after that, we're going to be talking some Smackdown. So this probably won't be too long of a recap episode, just going to do real quick. I know, sorry, hopefully future episodes will have more longer recaps, but tomorrow morning, remember, Good Morning Wrestling fans, gonna run down the matches on WWE Elimination Chamber and New Japan's Battle in the Valley show, also taking place tomorrow night. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Start things off with AEW Rampage. Slam Dunk took place at Laredo, Texas. Taped Wednesday night, right after Dynamite. Commentators Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho. Nothing against either of these commentators, but not really a fan of a four-man booth. I know I've talked about that before on the on the podcast. And we start things off though with the AEW Trios Championships on the line, and for this match, it's actually a 5-man team, because Don Callis, as usual for the Elite matches, joined the commentary team for this match. And the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks defeat Top Flight and AR Fox. Very good match here, which, just like their last one that they had, was very good. This one definitely did not disappoint. Kenny Omega pinning AR Fox to score the win for the Elite to retain the AEW Trios Championships. And then after the match, the lights go out, and then we see the House of Black on the stage, kind of teasing that they're letting the Elite know that they want those Trios Championships. And in the back, Lexi Nair is with the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Guns. Absolute Ricky Starks defeats Daniel Garcia with a Rochambeau. And then after the match, Sammy Guevara is furious. He gets on the mic and says he wants a match with Action Andretti. The AEW TBS Women's Champion Jade Cargill defeats Ver Vixen. And in the main event, or I take that back, as Mark Henry would say, it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. The Natural Dustin Rhodes defeating Swerve Strickland via disqualification when Parker Bordeaux interferes. He is the only one in Swerve's corner tonight. And he interferes, causing the disqualification. And after the match, Swerve and Bordeaux attack Dustin Rhodes with a cinder block. They bring into the ring and are about to stomp the head of Dustin Rhodes into the cinder block. And then at this time, we see the return of Limitless Keith Lee coming down to the ring to make the save. He's been out of action for a little bit, but now he is back. So I'm guessing this is going to lead to a feud between Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Or at least that's what you would think anyway. So that was AEW Rampage Slam Dunk. Pretty good episode this week. I remember the last time, not sure when exactly it was, but when Rampage had to be moved up to 7 p.m. Eastern, the ratings actually did pretty well. So hopefully this case tonight, maybe that helped a little bit with the ratings. And maybe, of course, you probably get the usual fans that watch Rampage every week anyway, but also some of the casual fans that might be going to watch some of the NBA All-Star activities tonight, might have turned on TNT a little early and saw Rampage and left it on there. So might have helped a little bit, hopefully anyway. And now let's move over to Fox for WWE Friday Night Smackdown. We have Natalya and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Actually, I thought this wasn't too bad of a match here. Ronda Rousey submitting Shotzi in this one. Rousey and Baszler victorious. And then we get Hit Row coming out now as heels doing a rap, and it was pretty, I don't want to say bad, but I don't want to be negative, but it wasn't that good. I think it might have been supposed to have been, I don't know, I'm going to say it was supposed to be bad, but it might have, because with what happened. But to me, when they were just doing this rap, making fun of Montreal, which I forgot to mention at the top of the recap, tonight live in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Centre, the site of tomorrow night's Elimination Chamber, and the chamber is above the ring. Now back to Hit Row. This kind of just reminded me of the Acclaimed. It seems like they were trying to be them a little bit. Not the current babyface version of the Acclaimed, but when they first started the whole rapping thing, when they got together and they were heels, they would come out, make fun of the local sports teams, make fun of the local city, things like that. And one time even Top Dollar mentioned Brett screwed Brett, of course, in Montreal, so they have to bring up the Montreal screw job. And then they're interrupted the lights go out, and we see both Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy come in, take them out. Bray Wyatt gets the mandible claw, and then Uncle Howdy hits Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt gets on the mic. He says, "You're welcome, Montreal." And then the fans start chanting, "Thank you, Bray," or was it "Thank you, Wyatt"? Well, one of them. And then we go to break, and we see Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes with Drew McIntyre in the back. And Sheamus and McIntyre are going to be in tag team action against the Viking Raiders. And we see this match, and not a bad match at all. I thought this match was actually pretty good. McIntyre pinned Eric to get the win. Like I said, not a bad match at all. I actually enjoyed this one. It was quite better than I thought it would be, actually. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but during the night on Smackdown, we seen 3 different parts, I believe, or was it just 2? Video packages recapping the history between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, as we will see that tomorrow at the Elimination Chamber. And Asuka defeats Liv Morgan via submission. Not a bad match. Asuka getting the win. And then after the match, we see all the women that are involved in the Women's Elimination Chamber match get involved. And they all go at it in the ring. And then the last 2 standing in the ring are Asuka and Liv Morgan. And Carmella was also on commentary during the match. And then our final segment of the night, we see the hometown boy, Montreal's own Sami Zayn, who of course will be challenging Roman Reigns tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber. And he gets, of course, what you would expect, a huge reaction, a huge pop from the Montreal crowd. And he just stands there in the ring a little bit, soaks it in, and then finally he talks real quick, short promo. And definitely the most over baby face there tonight. And that's all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Episode 362. Hope to have a recap, maybe, hopefully tomorrow night. That's what I'm aiming for. Or early Sunday morning, I should say, by the time I finish both Elimination Chamber and Battle in the Valley. So stay tuned for that. Also, tomorrow morning, good morning wrestling fans. Gonna kind of do a preview of each of the show, Elimination Chamber and Battle in the Valley. Thank you once again for tuning in. Hope everyone had a great Friday today. Hope everyone enjoyed Rampage. Hope everyone enjoyed Smackdown. Until tomorrow morning, GMWF, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.